Welcome back to Builds Not Projects. My name's Spencer. In today's video, I'm going to be working on the Honda Odyssey build. I'm going to be ripping into the front suspension some more, working on building all the necessary tubes and brackets and everything for that. So we'll get started. Okay, so I've got the rear mounts built as well for the upper control arm. So what I'm going to do now is I've been looking at this, and just the way that the steering is going to be, it's going to have to run basically right through the middle of this somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I haven't been really wanting to do this. I've been trying to come up with other ways, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this fiberglass off. It's all broken anyways, and I'll end up just building the metal one eventually. But what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to cut this off just kind of around the steering so I don't have to pull all that apart, and I can leave all of that there. And I'm going to pull all of the flooring stuff up and the little fender pieces, and then I'm going to work on building a lower frame rail out of tubing. I'm going to start back in here somewhere probably, and then run out and down a little bit more to catch that lower control arm, and then forward, and then I can tie it back in. It's going to simplify building lower brackets. It's going to allow room for the steering, and it'll just work out better for me to do it that way. The bad part about it is I'm going to have to rework the way that I've got the brake system set up underneath there, but it'll be a lot easier to figure out with this off, and I can just build stuff back around it later. So I got this tacked in place here. The reason I did that is because it wasn't quite level, like across this area. This side was higher, so I just chopped it, rotated it. I clamped that piece of angle iron on there so it would hold it nice and flush, and then I had used that 2x4 that I cut a hole in to hold the end at the correct height. So then all I had to do was just get this leveled out, hold it where it needed to be, tack it in place. Now I can weld that. Now it's all level. I just didn't quite get it in the right spot when I welded it all on. So now what I can do is I'm going to start. I've got all this lower stuff cut off, and I figured out if I run this steering linkage upside down, it's welded on, but I'll be able to just flip the steering wheel deal the other way, and I can run this out the top, and then I'll be able to run my linkage from there, and I'll just build new supports for this. I'm going to build the lower supports for the lower control arms, and then I'm going to wrap them up and around in the front, bring them up, kind of do a little roll pan kind of style deal, and then I'll be able to build all my brake brackets and everything back into there. Okay guys, so I got the shock hoops built and done. So the shocks are mounted, everything's just tacked together, but shocks are mounted. The lower control arms are all mounted up. So that's as far down as the suspension will ever be, which is about an inch lower than what I want the kind of the ride height to be. So hopefully when it sets down, it'll sit in about the right position. If it sits too low, these have a spring adjustment on them, so I can tighten the springs up, but it should be pretty dang close. So I'm super happy with the way that these hoops turned out, and all the mounting brackets and everything. So I think I'm going to end up having to put some sort of a reinforcement across in between, or maybe when I run the bars up to the back, from there down towards the front, maybe I'll tie in there or something, because otherwise they're going to try to push that way. But it's coming along nicely. I'm super happy with it. I'm going to have to order some steering components now that I kind of have a better idea of how it's going to go. I'm going to order some heim joints and stuff like that, and just try to get it to where the steering's really solid as well. So I'll be getting some parts ordered, and we'll keep building on it. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for parts to show up, I'm going to end up building the rest of the front end stuff here, get the brakes all situated and hooked up, get front brakes hooked up. I'm going to be able to get all that stuff done, build the front bar here, or whatever I'm going to do there, and then build the rest of the cage. So thanks for watching.